Did y'all get a chance to watch that live last night with Tasha K? Woo, that's all I can say. I watched it during its actual live, and then maybe about, I don't know, a little bit before I was going to go to bed. I'm like, I need to watch that again just to kind of get my life. I don't know. I guess I don't have much of one, but to get my life, because she was going off. She really was. Now, if some of you don't know what I'm talking about, of course, over the weekend, last weekend, Cardi B is suing Tasha K and Star Marie over defamation, basically because of that interview that Tasha K did with Star Marie, as well as other videos that Tasha K put out about Cardi B. Now, if you know anything about Tasha K, we should have known that Tasha K would not go down without a fight, okay? And so this video surfaced of Cardi B talking about how she used to, because she needed studio time and she needed all this money, how she would basically lure men back to a hotel with the promises of sex. She would drug them and then she would rob them. Now, a lot of people are saying she would rape them. I didn't get that from that video. I'm not putting that on Cardi B. I didn't hear her say that at all. But the hashtag surviving Cardi B went viral. And it's been trending for the last couple of days or whatever. And a lot of different news outlets picked it up, including, well, when I say news outlets, I'm not talking about CNN and stuff like that. I'm really referring to like internet news. A lot of different ones picked them up. Vlad TV, Complex, Gossip. It is notable, and it's important to note that some of the major like blogs on Instagram did not. Like Baller Alert did not touch it. You had Shade Room that wouldn't touch it. Hollywood Unlocked would not touch it. It was several of them that wouldn't even touch the story, even though a lot of the people in the comments kept saying it and they kept hashtagging it. So it was on a lot of people's minds yesterday, but it was notable and noted that there was a lot of blogs that wouldn't even touch it. All right. And that's what I'm going to get into in a minute. And I think that's why Tasha K did her live. And she started, of course, to talk about a lot of these blogs that are pretty much afraid of Cardi B, whether it is that they're afraid of getting sued by her. I know Shade Room stopped posting her a while ago. And matter of fact, they fired one of their writers. His name is Kyle. He has a different Instagram site now that's doing pretty well. It's called Neighborhood Talk, I believe. I follow him too. But they used to post Cardi B all the time. Now they don't even touch her. They don't say a thing about her, okay? Because she basically asked them. Now I don't know if she asked them or she paid them. I don't know. But the point of the matter is that some of these big blogs are not talking about something major like this story that's been going around. And we do know that if it was the other way around and you had somebody like Future saying that he would drug women and rob them, that it definitely would have hit every last site. Okay. And so that's the bias. All right. And that's kind of the problem here, right? You have people that are trying to kind of poo-poo this away and act like this is no big deal. Now, again, I'm not saying that she raped anyone. I'm not saying it because I don't think she did. Me personally, I don't think that's how it happened. But nonetheless, drugging somebody and robbing them is still very serious. And if it was a guy that did what she did, it would have been taken more serious. And matter of fact, if that was a rapper who had alleged that and said that in the video out of his own mouth, if he had any endorsements, they would have been gone. Look what happened with Rick Ross. And that was a lyric. All right. So that being said, a lot of people just feeling like, you know what, she deserves to have that equal energy. The energy that you would give a man, you should give to her for saying the same thing. And it wasn't a lyric, it was out of her own mouth. All right. And furthermore, I keep seeing people saying, well, she had to do what she had to do. Listen, Cardi B wasn't trying to feed no baby at home. She wasn't out of Enfamil. She wasn't out of diapers. This was a woman who was trying to get studio money to make a song, and she would drug men and rob them for their money. Okay? Don't try to equate those two. Just don't. All right? Because the truth of the matter is, drugging somebody could have ended in a death. It could have ended in somebody dying. And so don't try to equate, survival like that, because that's not survival. That's not, she could have went out and did something else. Okay. A lot of us have hard times, but we don't go and rob people. We don't go do that. All right. And any mother out there, if you're a mama and you had some struggling times like I did back in the day, you know how it is, but that don't mean you had to go out and rob somebody. So I need people to stop trying to equate those. All right. So let me get back. Tasha K brought up a lot of different blogs. She came at Lovely T. Now listen, she has never held back on Lovely T and her disdain for Lovely T. When that little friendship came about, I remember doing a video saying, this ain't going to be good. This ain't going to last. And this is going to end badly. I remember it. I called it early when I saw those two women together. I said, this is not going to end well. Not at all. And Margma, I knew it. I knew it wasn't going to end well. And now these two women kind of go back and forth. But Lovely T is a bit more subtle in her approach, right? She'll get under somebody else's comments or something like that, and she'll laugh or she'll say some little kind of like, backdoor kind of shade she'll do. But Tasha K is more direct, and she came at her neck yesterday. So please, if you haven't seen the video, go watch it. For real. All right. That's the only thing. I used to be a big fan of Lovely T's, and I still do kind of watch her videos, but I don't watch them the same. I always watch them a little differently than I used to, simply because Lovely T, when she kind of got in cahoots when that whole Nicki Minaj and Cardi B thing went down and the whole Star Marie stuff, and it was found out that Cardi B had been talking to Lovely T. They've been like talking on the phone and stuff. I noticed that her coverage changed of Cardi B, and that's a problem. All right. It's hard for me to sit here and watch you try to cover somebody knowing that you are in bed with them like that. You're not going to cover them the same. And that's when I stopped kind of watching her, because I always thought she was pretty fair. I always liked Lovely T, and I always felt that she really gave pretty fair analysis of situations until this whole Cardi B thing came about. And as a blogger, you cannot get close to people like that. You can't get close to the people you talk about, because you won't talk about them the same. And that brings me to Gossip in the City. Tasha K pulled some receipts on Gossip in the City, and I absolutely believe every last one of them. I do. Now, if you don't know who Gossip in the City is, she used to be Famous. Okay. And I used to think that her gossip was pretty decent. Then when she became Gossip in the City, and I follow her now. She has a bad attitude, and she actually wants people to pay for gossip. And I'm just like, I'm not, girl, bye. All right. She had this it was Gossip in the City, and you would have to pay it was maybe $7, $8 to get on the site. And I have to admit, I did do it. Okay. When I was trying to start this little thing, I did do it, and it was trash. The app kept closing. It was shut down. She would shut down the website, and then when you would ask her about it, she would get an attitude with you. Now she has something called a dark room, where she only posts super exclusive gossip. And I'm like, listen, I ain't that desperate for no gossip that I'm going to go and pay you $30 or $40 to be on some girl bye. And so Tasha was right about her. She has a terrible attitude, terrible. And don't ask her no questions. Don't disagree with her. She has a badass attitude. And so Tasha was absolutely right about her. And it has been noticeable that she stopped talking about Cardi B and Offset. And, she apologized to them not too long ago. And now, according to those receipts, you can see why. Because, of course, they paid her off. I believe Cardi B and Offset paid her off and everything like that. So I do believe that. Now, last night in Tasha K's live, she mentioned Derrick Jackson. And this is where things are going to turn for me with her. Because as much as I like Tasha K, even though I do think she's messy, this is where I think she was wrong. So last night, she mentioned how, what Cardi B was doing and how Cardi B was sabotaging herself. And how she couldn't wait until Derrick Jackson covered this particular story. All right. And so and when he didn't want to get involved, she said, I'm really shocked that you will hold Charlamagne the God accountable for admitting to drugging and raping, but you give Cardi B a pass. You see, there are double standards. Men can get away with the same shit. I know what she was trying to say. Cardi didn't have to do this. She justified why she did it. Basically because he didn't want to get involved in the foolery. All right. he said he wasn't going to be used in that way last night when she invoked his name into the conversation. And so when that happened, she said, PSA winos, damn, I just received a phone call saying that a few women want to come forward alleging that Derek Jackson made bastard babies, beat women, and forced abortions, and is currently dodging child support. One is a doctor, apparently. They are racking up receipts now. That's where I draw the line, Tasha. I thought that was wrong. First things first, I enjoyed your tea. I enjoyed the video, but I don't think it's fair to drag him into that. First of all, he did not take the bait. He doesn't want to talk about it in the way you want him to talk about it. But I don't think that means he should now be dragged. And now his business is out there on Front Street because he didn't engage in that. He was just sitting there minding his business. You brought his name up into the video. He didn't want to get involved in it because maybe he feels like, you know what, that don't have nothing to do with me. That's between them and y'all, whatever. But I don't think it's fair to now try to turn it around and make him the bad guy. All right. I don't always agree with Derek Jackson. I like him. I watch his videos sometimes. I don't always agree with him. But this time I think it's wrong. I do. I think it's not right to now turn the winos against this man who's done nothing. He didn't do a thing. He was minding his business. His name came up. He didn't want to have no part of that. Even if he doesn't want to take the same approach against Cardi B as Charlamagne. Remember, he talks about men and how men treat women. That's not his lane, maybe with the women thing. And maybe, and that's not his fault. So I feel like that was wrong. And that was just wrong. And I hope Tasha K doesn't go there. I hope she don't start digging up stuff on him. She needs to leave it alone. That's going too far. So as much as I enjoyed that live, I'm really hoping she doesn't go there and she doesn't allow the winos to gas her up into pulling that man's card, because that could backfire on her and she don't want them kind of problems. But other than that, I love the live. I think it was great. I don't know what's about to happen. But like I said, leave him alone. He has shit to do with that. Leave that man alone. So let me know what you guys thought about the live. And I guess I'll see you when some more mess pop off. Later.